then certainly get signed up for the class. Now, with that being said, the unique situation here is that because it's a live class, it's actually occurring this evening. So if you're watching this, but you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday and you've missed the class, it will actually be recorded. So once the live event's done and recorded and uploaded, I'd be happy to send you a link to it. So if you're not able to attend, either because you already have something on your schedule or you just flat out missed it, then drop me an email and I would be happy to send you a link to that recording so that you can keep an eye on it. But if you can't make it live, then yeah, hopefully I'll see you here in a few hours. There's a link down in the description box and to get signed up if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. A couple of quick clarification points before I get started. First off, this number over here will be changing around, so you're not seeing things. You don't need to go to the eye doctor or anything. And then also that candle right there will still be moving. That's because the market is open still for a little bit of time. And I like to do these videos when the market is still open, because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day type price movement. So just keep that in mind. And then also, for you beginners out there, I will be using the 30-minute time frame. So what that means is that each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So with that being said, first one here, ticker symbol CYN, and I really like this one because it's shown some strength here. What do I mean by that? Not necessarily the big gap up in the opening 30 minutes, but the fact that the price did start to get pushed back downwards, but now you can see the latter part of the day, not only did the price level out, but now it's starting to work its way back upwards. So that does make it a valid thought to think, that if the price comes up here and can push up through, let's see, what is that? $2.15. That could very well create a good breakout. Now, there are no guarantees, but my point here is that it's plausible to think, it's likely to think that there's a lot of eyeballs watching this general area, and when lots of eyeballs and people are watching the same thing, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. So I want to just reiterate, are no guarantees, but is it valid to think that if the price gets up there and pushes up through it, that break right there could create another round of upside buying pressure? Absolutely. So in my mind, CYN and that 215 mark makes it for a very interesting, kind of Friday level to watch, because sometimes things can move just that much more on Friday as people want to, knock something out of the park before the weekend, but we'll see what happens with it. Next one, BRQS, did this analysis previously, and it was in yesterday's watch list, and that's where the resistance line comes into play there. But you can see, got the break, and then from there, it made a very nice move today, and certainly updates need to be done. And the first update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward, if there are any sort of, bigger pullbacks, right down there around that 29-cent mark is going to be that ideal level of support that you'd want to see hold. And while I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, just from a overarching kind of explanation standpoint, let's say the price did go down there and bounced around, what would you still have? Well, from the big picture, you'd still have lows there, lows there, lows there, lows down there. And if you envision those as stair steps, then again, big picture wise, you'd very clearly have stair steps continuing to progress in the upwards direction. So keep an eye on that as kind of just more so that overarching key level of support. And then as far as levels of resistance are concerned, keep an eye on that trend line moving forward. So if there is any sort of movement back to the upside, looking like right up around that 41 cent mark is going to be that key level of resistance. But overall, the uptrend continues. Next one, AMC, another rough day here, so updates need to be done. We're just going to do some house cleaning, go ahead and get rid of that level as it's kind of irrelevant right now, and I don't want to create, confusion because there's lines and clutter all over the place. So trying to keep this as clean as possible. But the first update comes into play based on that rule that when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance, and you can see that's actually playing out here perfectly right now. So going into the day, that $16.90 mark was considered a level of support, but with the price breaking down below it, you can see this afternoon, that area, generally speaking, has just been a problem point. So in the very near term, 1690 going to be that first key level of resistance. The good news is that the price is within striking distance.